do 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 do. Look at all these frames we're dropping. Holy moly. Maybe this'll even out. Maybe not. Come on, broadcast. Let's go. Let's go. Evening out? All right. It's funny how it can use the same amount of bandwidth, but drop so many more frames. It's very curious. And unpleasant. Wonder what's taking up all the frames. All right, let's finish getting some stuff set up here. Let's see. Stream manager, manage me a stream. Bust chat out of jail here. I was thinking about playing games, but I was having a lot of fun with the oh, there we go. There we go. I was having a lot of fun with modeling the Scopedog up there. So I think we'll go with that for now. And special guest star over here. Guess who decided to work nicely? I think I have the I think I have a couple things figured out. Not sure about the neck, but I got the video part taken care of. Oh, and let's see, where's my batteries? Okay, and the spare batteries for the camera are charged. So we should be good to go. Should be good to go. As long as I don't talk with my hands and block Mr. Rusty's block Mr. Rusty's face cam. But I'm watching you, man. I'm watching you. In a moment's notice, I will. All right, let's see. Where are my shortcuts? Is this a shortcut? No, that is not a shortcut. Is this a shortcut? Playing with all my shortcuts, trying to figure out which one. Man, I'm going through all the shortcuts here. Let's see. Is this one? Okay, one of these zooms in and out. Do I have the wrong display capture? Right side. How do you zoom in and out? No, no, no. Well, that's certainly something, isn't it? Maybe we let them just be large the whole time, I guess. Why won't you minimize? My other shortcuts work, but the minimize one does not. Okay, we'll figure that out later. For now, we're going to tinker with hotkeys. Filter by hotkey. We only have so many of them. Let's see. Where are you hiding? Where are you hiding? I bet I'm in the wrong scene. Dramatic zoom in. Well, my dramatic zooming does not dramatically zoom. That is unfortunate. All right. Welcome. Dramatic zooming aside. Let's find a way to shrink Mr. Rusty here. Okay, this one? No. This one? Somebody is misbehaving. And I can't figure out who it is. Ay. Okay, let's go back to the game scene. You know, while we got him big, let's see if he's in focus. He is definitely way too large, isn't he? Go back over here. Filters. I must have made him extra large last time. This is gonna bug me until like the end of time if I don't get this fixed. Filter, nope, not there. So it is definitely on this one. There. We will postpone this and figure it out later. Ta-da! Look. Lock that so we don't move him around. And yes, this has been our OBS tech support. This is why people have a starting soon screen. I finally figured it out. This is why people have a starting soon screen. Ah, boy. Okay. How are we doing over there? Let's check in on Rusty again. Be right back screen. Nope. Chatting screen. You are also too large. I wonder why. I wonder if the video feed's coming in larger or something, because I did play with the settings. Get him a little bit more in focus here. No. And right about there. There we go. Yeah, close enough, I'd say. He's going to be in the corner of the screen most of the time anyways. Bye. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to a Rusty Robot stream. Complete with the Rusty Robot himself. A little small, but he'll be fine. He'll be fine. So tonight we are going to continue our Scopedog because I want. And also I found out that the game that I was going to play, peek through my goodie drawer here. The game that I was going to play is getting its big update tomorrow, not today. So there we go. Unlock the robot. Do our stretch test. And back. And forward. And back. All right. He seems to be behaving for now. Still don't know why my zoom effect doesn't work. That one's interesting. Because it's super handy. And just does not work. Like, at all. So, if anybody wants to see Rusty zoomed in, I'll have to just manually zoom him in. So I think for today, right about there would be good. It's okay if he's blocking a little bit of the screen. We'll call it artistic flair or something. Good? Good, okay. And this is why Rusty doesn't have hands yet. He doesn't have arms, because Yeah, I don't trust the controls right now to not put those arms right where they're not supposed to. Someday I'll trust them enough. We do, however, have the neck control back. We can move our neck back and forth again. Not a whole heck of a lot, apparently. There, now I can glare at us. So yes, I fixed the foot pedal. That was I had a stand-in foot pedal that I was testing to rotate his neck back and forth, and it kinda went kersnap because I didn't build it super strong. It was just a stand-in. Let's see. Oh man, I'm gonna have to like send the photos. So bear with me. I'm gonna just send them up to a drive or something and bring them on over. But I did some cool editing of the Fusion file. I'll bring that up real quick too. Let's see. Whoa, that is interesting. That is interesting and unexpected. When I opened up Fusion on the other screen, my what do we want to call it? Touch Portal. So I have the Touch Portal app running on an old phone. It brought up the whole Fusion 360 menu, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool, and kind of annoying because I didn't ask it to do that. Send to drive. Send to Rusty. Let's see if I can bring this up without, unfortunately, showing my name because it likes to. It really, really thinks that you need to know exactly who I am. It's unfortunate. Do I have a... I think I have a window capture for... Do I have a window capture? I do not. So let's sneak this over here. And go back to the game. There we go. Oh, what's going on? What's going on over there? You behave yourself. I might need just a little bit more lighting over here for Rusty's camera to pick up my face. Oh, that's exactly what it is. It's getting a lot more input now because light mode right here behind on the screen. Yeah, that is. Ugh. So there we go. This is the foot pedal, the new foot pedal. I reinforced it just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. These big old reinforcements here. So this piece is, how big is it? It's about 3 inches maybe? Yeah, about 3 or 4 inches. That's the size of this. Mr. Rusty, hold still. So it's about, 3 or 4 inches across. I can tell you exactly, because this is Fusion. Why wouldn't I not just look? Inspect. We are looking at 70 millimeters tall by 95 millimeters across. So, in freedom units, yeah, it's about 3 inches. So the version I had, the test version, did not have this nice beefy reinforcements and had a much smaller plate up here. This is where my foot sits. So I can do this. Move and move and move. Ta-da! We have head turning. Unfortunately, it is a 1-to-1 head turn. So right now my foot is pointed forward. And let's see how far we can go. And we can go about that far if I really tilt my foot. So the next step, well, this was supposed to be a stand-in with a fun little project anyways. The next step is to change the ratio so it's not 1-to-1. A little explanation. I have a bicycle brake line, you know, that you squeeze when you want to stop. The little cable goes in this groove. The end of the brake line is locked in here, and it pivots off of this circle. So that's how it's a foot pedal. Now what it looks like, hop into the Googles over here, off camera. Yeah, man. Go back to my OBS for one thing. Oops. Oh, geez. What did that just do? No, no. Oh, and that closed Fusion. Close app. Why would you put a close app right there? I should look closer at the shortcuts. Excuse me. Previous desktop. Well, I'm glad I didn't close everything down. That would have sucked. I do not like this menu that popped up automatically. One moment while I try to figure out how to get back to my actual desktop. Remove current page. Yes, go away. There we go. Okay, because that just popped away my menu. Anyways, I will show you the actual thing here as we gaze upon more wonderful Scopedog. Bring up the images. Drive. Is the music too loud? Just right? Let me know and I can adjust it. Okay, we will download these. I hope it doesn't zip them. Of course it's going to zip them. So while that's doing all that fun stuff, let's hop back to just chat with an entirely too large Rusty, because I haven't figured out how to make this piece here. I haven't figured out why my zoom filter stopped working. So that's unfortunate. Let's see if I can edit the transform. Reset transform. There we go. Now I have to fix it on all the other screens, don't I? Ta-da! It's my boy. Okay. I should remember this for a screenshot. Hello. Here's my boy. I think I sent an old version up to the internets. We're gonna go dig out that file out of the downloads. Man, I need another monitor. I just need one more monitor, I think. Yes, please extract it right there. There we go. Okay. Ta-da! And there we go. So, here's the old foot pedal. And yes, I know the orientation of this was not super strong, kind of, but also it was tiny. It was too tiny. So there's that, and this is how the brake cable attaches. It goes in that little groove. There's the little stopper at the end of the brake cable, and two folders of the same thing. And here's how it looks all assembled. And now that is currently down by my feet. I do have to make this platform just a little bit bigger. And if I want it to be a little more stable, put another side on it. So this isn't just hanging here. I'll put another rocker to stabilize it. And then, when I get excited with my big old feet, it won't just snap it off again. But yeah, do you like my very official looking setup here from old scrap pieces? Yeah. So now we can go like this. We can turn this way, and we can turn this way, thanks to this new dealio. And this looks a little overly complicated because it is the exact same thing that is underneath Rusty's neck. In fact, we can just go like this. See right there. There we go. I've been meaning to test the zoom lens on here, on this camera, so I could actually, actually zoom in. And there, pan back up to poor little Rusty. I'm gonna add all sorts of bells and whistles down the road once we figure out once we test and then figure out some more stuff. Good. So I left ample space on the chair that makes up his the former office chair that makes up Rusty's stand. So you're getting quite the behind the scenes here. See, there he is. Yes, he is actually attached to an office chair. A junk office chair, and that is one of my old hoodies. So there we go. And in the background, yes, that is an Atari and a Commodore. The boxes, anyways. And we got some games. Decided when I finally have this space set up, I can finally put some stuff out on the shelves instead of just packed away in boxes. Because I had to renovate for this office anyways, so I might as well actually use it how I want. Alright, let's go get rid of that for now. And get rid of that window. How are we doing? Everything seemed to be working. Cool. Alright, wow, I've been yapping for 23 minutes already. So here we go. So last time, previously on Mecha Modeling Monday, which was 2 days ago. 2 days ago. I swear, my next model updates or upgrades, I'm getting more fingies. Last time on Mecha Modeling Monday, we got about this far because I could not remember half the shortcut keys that I wanted to. Because it has been a hot minute since I actually 3D modeled something that a little more complicated than Mr. Rusty's boxy face. I suppose the headphone I did last little while back is fairly complicated. You know, it even lights up. And if I want the headset to go away, where's my headset? Headset. There we go. I just like to leave it out for now. So something more complicated like this, because I fail at doing something simple like a coffee mugs that don't hold coffee. I might just leave this here as a gag because it's kind of funny. You want to take a drink of coffee? It's just filled with sadness. Sadness and empty and no coffee. Much sadness. So, where we left off, and I really should just look up how to make this guy stick around forever. But for now, man, I need some Maya folk to hop in chat so I can just find this out for without having to go to right to the Googles. Maya, let's see. My old searches are coming up here. Maya paint effects first introduced. Turns out 2000. Love me some paint effects. I will gladly show those off later sometime. Basically, the Blender equivalent for paint effects is a grease pencil and maybe some geonodes tossed in for fun. Though geonodes be closer to some of the other physics effects in Maya. Okay, so Maya. How to use reference image in window. It's gonna be super simple. Image plane where you have the reference image. You can place as an anchored image in the viewport. VR assets, what? View image photo file, how to make runners appear in front of. One moment. Select your mesh and then go modeling toolkit object X-ray. Okay, that would work. Click on the X-ray. X-ray. I mean, I guess that works. That is not quite what I wanted. Ew. Ew, what did I do here? That is unclean geometry, sir. Well, at least I used X-ray. It has a Z depth attribute. Move tool, move it, object X-ray. I don't know. I remember doing this in the past and it wasn't with X-ray, but we will just look at it for now. And also, what the heck happened here? That is nasty. That got booleaned in a very gross way. And I do not remember that being there last time. So we're going to start off by cleaning up some faces. What the heck? Make sure it's not attached to anything. Yeah, these are some funky faces. My guess is something unexpected happened during the Boolean operation. There we go. that probably happened when I was creating the second perimeter. Perimeter? This line right here. Oh yeah, no, that's unpleasant. What are you? Okay, let's see about fixing that. That one, and let's see if we can just, let's see, is it a fill hole or... Man, I had that nicely connected too. That was beautifully connected. And it did this to me. I should have saved incrementally. Okay. But thank you, Maya. First of all, before we corrupt our save, let's increment this. Scopedog 2. The Scopedogging. I think we will just leave this for later. It has decided it wants to be difficult. It ruined my boy. Simple Boolean operation went awry at some point. I don't quite know where. Okay, let's check on the status of all this stuff. Gonna move this over here. Just put up a hypergraph. Group 1. Group 1 goes. Okay, so we've got the visor going up and down. Good, good. And lens mount. No. Okay, there's that. Ah, the lens mount wasn't attached to the poly surface yet. So there's that part. And now we'll do the lens mount. So it looks like we have to change its pivot. I know I did this last time. So something got corrupted when it saved. Let's see. Turn on some snap to grid. Oops, not that one. And moving its pivot. So we can go like this. Oops, not like that. Move its pivot just a little bit more. Pivot its pivot, if you will. There we go. Now, this will move. This should move around the. Here, let's. There. Okay. So here's what we're building. Got this helmet, basically the head of the mecha. This silver-looking piece, the visor, can go up and down, like so. Here is there's gonna be a hole in the head. We'll call it the helmet for now. The mech's helmet. There's a hole in the helmet where the pilot can actually just see or reach out. So that flips up and down. And this guy is not accepting my terms and conditions here for rotations. That is very interesting indeed, that the pivot is not sticking. There it goes. Well, this will be fixed in rigging. I will probably make a joint for it so that it for sure is constrained to just rotating back and forth according to this. It's being not very nice right now. But yes, when it's actually rigged, it won't be as problematic. As problematic. That is so interesting that the pivot is not sticking. So this lens assembly, we'll call it, moves back and forth and then can switch between the lenses. Like so. Snap, 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 snap. Well, I'll make sure that I group it properly. That is very interesting, though. Also, this one's pivot should be right about there. I'll add the cylinder on the side. Probably right after I create the holders for placeholders for the lenses. Whoa. Okay. We good? We good? Okay. Okay, let's pop into front view and see about how it lines up. Try that X-ray view. X-ray. You know, I guessed pretty good on the size of this. There. See that? Pretty much lines up with... Aha! That's the culprit. Pretty much lines up with the size of that. That was a guess. Okay, let's move him just as... Oh, and that's why he's turning kind of funky. Okay, we're going to modify center pivot. No, that is the center of the pivot. So, snap to object and there. Oops. You okay there, Rusty? Rusty's eyes are a lot more active than mine right now, let me tell you that. Okay, anyways, I'm going to get back to modeling this instead of caring quite so much about that. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Align with that. The things you don't remember. Ooh, cool. Cheap viewers. I love cheap viewers. Thank you, Madam Architect. This is me rolling my eyes. You have been banned. And the pivot went right back to where it was. Okay. We're just going to leave that for now, because that is not super important. What I probably should be doing anyways is making a group. Or a pointer, maybe. And working that way. So this group is based off of that group. And I'm going to have this group's pivot be base constrained. Nope, not you. What the heck? Well, I'm just having all sorts of interesting issues today. Maybe I should have played that game. All right, where was I? Let's see. Let's move that back. Oh, let's unsnap that. Move it back over here. Now we know we have our size right, at least. Okay. Let's go there. There. Okay. We're gonna give this another shot now. I do think I need to remodel this piece anyways. If I don't have to start the whole dang thing over because it decided to screw up my lovely shape here. Yep, definitely gonna have to figure out what went wrong with these pieces. Such a simple operation, and it got kerfuffled. But for now, we are going to... Actually, we're going to move this back. There we go. Give me some polygons. I can just make a pipe. I'm not going to just make a pipe, though. I'd say that'd be too easy, but that's not actually the reason. This one's the larger one, so he's about that big. And let's make it a little, oops. Hopefully I didn't mess it up. Okay, you're good. Make another one right here. Nope. Let's try that again. Polygon. Draw on the grid. You are that big. Make you an arbitrary size. And the last one, you look about that big. And I'll also make you an arbitrary size. Why do I only have 2 of them now? One cylinder, 2 cylinder. I have, in fact, 3 cylinders. Maya, what are you doing here? One, 2, 3. Where is that hiding the third one? Oh boy. Maybe this file is cursed. Maybe this file is actually cursed. You would think making simple cylinders wouldn't be such an ordeal. Okay, we are going to group you guys under a little lens mount. Cylinder 3 script is already a child of group 2. Yep, we definitely have some issues going on behind the scenes. That's awesome. Well, let's see how far we can get before it just completely goes bananas on us. See, this is the part where the Blender fans come into stream and say, switch to Blender. Hehehe. And why is this one so I made this one shiny. Let's change that material type. Blend. There you go. Now you are distinctively less shiny. Glorious, glorious. Okay. Definitely cursed my eye. Okay, so now that I have these placed, I can set them up how I want. They are currently way too beautiful and round. Let's see, how many divisions did we have on the original cylinders? Poly chip, poly split ring. That was probably what the problem was before. I do not know. An easy way to find out is 1, 2, 3, 12. 1, 2, 3, 12. So we'll stick with the theme. Okay, and let's go find that reference image that we had before. I should take a screenshot of this so I don't have to click through the manual. Here we go. So let's see where are we at. Okay. So we have the, oh good, it's aligned the same here. So we have the zoom lens, like a telephoto. We have precision lens, I assume is the one with the crosshairs. And it doesn't really say what this one is. Might be the metal sensor or the... It does not say. Okay. This part here confuses me. In this drawing. Right here. See his goofy shape? Not quite sure. So I think when I made this, my version of it, I went off kind of off of this and flattened it. I don't think I should have done that. But we might just extract a new one anyways. So I'm currently working on this trio of lenses here. This be the telephoto. This be the precision. And I am unsure. We'll just call this the regular. Save that for later. Save that one for later. Okay. Now, if I were doing this proper modeling, I would have both planes intersecting, one for the front and one for the profile. I would have them right in the scene, because that'd be, you know, the way to actually do that. But we are just doing this for funs. So here's the, we'll call this one the telephoto. Look to be about twice as far as the normal one. Bump that one back. And we're actually going to make this one a little in between. We're just going to eyeball these from now on. Okay. Okay, what happens when we... Because I am rusty, as the name implies, what happens when we extrude just the one vertex? Kind of unexpected. Ooh, but we can set it to 0. Nice. Oh, how many divisions do we need? Might as well just do the others while we're at it. 1 and 2. That should take care of the 3 rings. So we have the outside, the pipe. We have the dark inner ring. And then we have the red Yeah, that'll be perfect, perfect. That way I only need to do one extrusion. Okay, now let's do this guy. This one has that telephoto look to it. Which if you have a telephoto lens, let's see if this shows it. If you have a telephoto lens, you see these vertical lines here on a camera, that would be grip, so you can turn it. There we go. You didn't need that lovely sneezing ASMR. I am 99% sure the tiny bots brought something fun home from daycare. Little sniffle sniffle there. Okay, so this one we're actually going to extrude backwards, I think. So it gets that little... If I were doing a high-res model, I would be doing this completely different. Let's see. We're gonna go like this. Move that out just a little, or move that just a little bit. Change my mind on that one. Oh, that is definitely not what I intended, but that looks kind of cool. I just extruded all of them. All of those vertices. So when I was creating the lens for Rusty here, I had them set to one face. So when I extruded it, it was just this, this hexagon shape. Actually, it was I think this one was also 12-sided. What do we got here? Can we see? Yep, 12-sided. So I had a 12-sided cylinder, almost exactly like what we're doing here. And I didn't have it split into nice triangles. So I could just mess with the whatever a 12-sided polygon is. So, how do we want to do this? And we can do it the same exact way I was going to anyways. We'll just go like this. And mess with that later. Oh, I started in a different spot on the playlist, so I wonder if it's out of... Nope, it is not out of music. Okay. Okay. Let's unlock his neck for a little bit. I need to stretch my neck anyways. Alright, let's go into this guy. And now we can just pull this back to where we want. And edit it from there. Make it about that size or so. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Now we can mess with the front. For that camera look. So it looks like, you know, it would be probably best to have multiple shapes. Especially if I'm thinking about this, if I do want to actually rig it and not just use this as a test exercise. I should have made it a pipe because this lens is going to move in and out. Or say the glass. This blue shiny part here, that's going to move in and out. You wouldn't notice it on Rusty over here because he is... Oops. Hey, look. The battery indicator. Okay, that is interesting. Why is my battery indicator gone? What got messed up on my screen? See, this little guy right here is flashing. Now I'm supposed to be able to see that. I'm supposed to see that down here somewhere. Right side. Unlock. There it is. Oh, that is really small. Okay. Let's fix this and then we'll fix our camera. Reset, transform. Okay. So the problem before was that Mr. Rusty here was not zooming in and out properly for some reason. And I'm not sure why. So we are going to take a little break from him, swap the battery around, and I'll be right back. There we go. Locked him, and yeah, that'll disappear, but that's okay. All right, bring Mr. Rusty Robot back into focus a little bit here. Ooh, it looks like we dropped a ton of frames when the video feed came back on. That is interesting. My guess is I have too many things plugged into the USB panel in the back of the computer. So that's an interesting problem. So last time I ran Rusty full time back before April. And he's been in the shop lately. Poor Rusty's got a crank in his neck. Last time I ran him more full time, I had less things plugged into the computer. So now I have I have a different microphone, so that's USB. I think the webcam was still the separate webcam tracking. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. So it's interesting that my new computer can't take that. I'll have to get probably have to get a powered USB hub. All right, let's see if we can unlock Mr. Robot here. Yeah, he's significantly better behaved than in the past. Significantly better behaved. There's quite a few different code revisions and physical hardware swapped in and out and tested. It was a little bit frustrating, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, it was pretty dang frustrating. All right, let's turn this way a little bit and try to figure out why OBS is being a tad sassy. Okay, so there's my battery indicator. Oh hey, I suppose you guys are actually seeing this too. So we're doing it live. So this is supposed to zoom in and out, and it is not. It is fully zoomed out. So we're just going to shrink him down a little bit. Chatting. There we go. There, now at least we can see my battery indicator. Right there. Right, you can't see my cursor right there. Let's, right about there. I have a battery indicator. Because that is actually that is capturing the very top of the screen. I'll show you for fun. Oh, it's not flashing right now, but it is capturing the very top of the screen up there in the top corner. Because that's where the little low battery light flashes on the camera display, which we are currently just capturing through a capture card. So this is purple because that's what color the wall is behind Rusty. And it'll flash red, as you saw before. It'll flash red when it needs to. That was my amusing little thing I figured out for myself. So for things I need to figure out for myself. Micro movements for Rusty, for one thing. Okay. So this lens seems fine. This lens... Yes, this lens we are going to split. We're going to split this. You know, I could just do this too. That would save on polygons down the road. But it wouldn't be terribly accurate, actually. Okay. And we're going to split it again. Let's see. So this time we're actually going back in space. So for fun, let's make this 0.9 again. And this 0. Let's grab the line. Let's grab the line. Move you back. Oops. Grab the line and the dot. Oh, I guess we can only grab one at a time. Okay. Move you back to about here. Grab the silly little dot. I need to learn the shortcuts for these things. Okay, so there we have the shell of the lens. Yeah, there are definitely easier ways to do this. Okay, so now we're just going to make the lens itself. I am actually going to use a sphere. Bring him all the way forward. Why on earth does this sphere, why is this showing up over here? That is very bizarre behavior. Okay, so I wonder if this type of item creation is bugged. So what I'm doing is I changed the setting a while back, because when you create using this toolbar here, it would create that object at 0, 0. And you don't always want it at 0, 0, because, for instance, when I'm working on my avatar here, it puts it down between his feet. So any shape I create, I have to bring all the way up. But why on earth? Okay, so anyways, so I changed that setting. Now it'll create it on the plane interactively. Instead of just being whatever it was last set to, it will interactively set it. So, for instance, I want a circle right, or a sphere right here, roughly that size. And it's still saying polycylinder over here. I see a sphere, and I'm assuming that it's actually created, but it has all of the history of the thing I was last working on, which was this part. And it doesn't, wait, does it show? See, now it actually shows though. And my attribute editor is not changing to match. So something's off with this project. Also, I'm letting Rusty's neck free for a while because I want to see about how long it takes to, not that I was timing it, on the VOD I will. We'll see about how long it takes Mr. Rusty Robot over there for his neck to, his 2 neck servos to stop moving. I think they timed out at somewhere around 10 minutes last time. And I'm not sure why. So we're stress testing them right now. But yes, nope, I am fully believing that this this file is cursed, and I'll probably be doing this all for nothing. So that's exciting. Well. Well, let's just have fun with it for a bit anyways. Create sphere. Cylinder shape. See, it's still the wrong thing. That is just absolutely bizarre. Okay, let's incremental save again. Oh wait, why don't I just incremental save? Forgot that was a thing. Where is that preference setting? You just made a clicking sound. I heard that. I heard that. I'm watching you. I'm watching you over there. So, welcome to Rusty's Problems with Maya. I'm glad you could all be here before the Blender folks said just switch to Blender. Normally I do not have this problem, but for some reason the attribute editor is not letting go of what I was doing. Because it's not even showing me anything over here. So something is locked in edit mode. We're just gonna do that. There it goes. Ta-da! When in doubt, have you tried turning it off and on again? So, how about we just chit-chat for a bit? Hello, how are we doing? Yeah, we're going orange mode. We're going orange mode. Rusty. Oh, did we stop receiving commands? Nope, there we go. There, we are now in angry mode. Yes. Okay, now let's see. All right. Let's take a look underneath the model just for fun. So remember that deleting I did? I shouldn't have done that. It was actually just fine. There was something up when I opened up this file today. Something went wrong and screwed up. It put a whole bunch of polygons all wibbly wobbly all over the place here. And so I deleted them because I didn't check before I closed out Monday. Make sure everything was fine. So I deleted them. Well, guess who shouldn't have deleted them? Somehow this got loaded in funny. So now I'm missing faces. Let's see. I'll fill them in later off camera. All right, so let's see if that silly circle wants to work this time. Drag on the grid, it says. Okay, it looks like it's dragging. It made a sphere. Okay, folks, it looks like it actually did what we wanted it to. Oops, not W. Let's bring it to the front and start playing with it. First of all, we're gonna line it up with this guy with snapping. The radius looks almost, the radius looks almost perfect. But I like round numbers, so there we go. Subdivision axis, let's stick with 12 because that lines up with everything else beautifully. And honestly, subdivision's height, we could probably get away with like 3. Let's see what it looks like. No, we cannot get away with 3. Oops, what did we do? What have we done? What have we done? And let's do 6 maybe? That looks nice. We don't need to be super duper optimized, but I think this will give us a nice nice rounded shape, especially when we squish it. Oh man, that already looks nice. It's the little touches. Yeah, that looks way better than what I was planning with. I'm just using this cylinder and then putting a texture on the end of this, you know, yeah. This way. Yeah. So this way, I can actually have it zoom in and out. See, now it'll look like it's zooming in and out a little bit. It's the little touches. And we're gonna bring up in an incognito window, because yes. Just to kind of remind us where we're at. VOTOMS opening. So, oop, too far. Let's watch that again. That was wonderful. 13 years ago. Okay, so this is the zoom lens. It has text on it. Like most cameras do. If you look at Mr. Rusty again. And so, we're not going to be able to zoom in super far. But if you look up there, you can see he has, oh, that was close. He has writing around the edge. It says, well, this one says, okay, this says, it's a Fujinon lens. I believe it's a 55 2.9. Is that what it is? 1.9? 2. It's a Fujinon 2.2, so it's a Fuji lens. They still make lenses. But this one's old, and it is also broken. And this particular model of lens is like one of the softest lenses I've ever used, meaning that it's like, nothing is really in focus. So I did not feel bad about trashing it. I picked it up broken from a thrift store, antique store, one of the two, for really cheap. And yeah, so I don't feel bad about messing with it. I did test it out first, cleaned it up a little bit, tested it out. But yeah, no, is light enough and has a big enough piece of glass on there to get the effect that I was looking for with this project. So yeah, he looks pretty cool. It was all part of the effect. So I have an LED stuck in the back of there behind a little piece of plastic to diffuse the glow. And something they didn't show is the aperture. I don't think they showed it. See this? There's little blades. It's an iris, or an aperture. And the little blades turn and they close up the light window to let in more or less light. In this case, letting out more or less light. A slight discrepancy, fun trivia fact. Slight discrepancy. The virtual model here has 6 aperture blades, which is why it looks like a hexagon. See? Whereas actual Rusty has 5. Just a fun little trivia. I wanted to stick with even numbers for Mr. Rusty here. So yes. Let's let his eyes loose again. There we go. I do want to hook it up so that when I blink, the aperture blinks too, like I have it set up on the virtual model. See? Next code revision is figured out how to read the blend shapes. In this case, blinking. Controlling the blinking. So as you can see over on his screen side, so his left, which is also my left. Hey, look at that. So this eye right here, on actual Rusty, See, blink. I'm gonna set it up so that both eyes blink there. And it's funny because I have it reversed. I actually have it reversed on this model. I don't think I noticed that. I mean, I knew what blinked and what didn't, but I didn't realize that I actually have these reversed. So on here, the lens blinks when I blink, but this eye stays the same. On actual Rusty, the screen blinks, but lens does not. Fun. Next time. Oh, it's funny. You can see my shadow when I move certain... Wait, there we go. Casting a shadow over Rusty. Okay, back. So this is one we're working on right now. Can I play it at slower speed? I can. Of course I can. Let's do it at half speed. And a glorious 480p. I don't know if VOTOMS actually had a Blu-ray. I know it was at least streaming on, I think, High Dive. So you have like Crunchyroll, and High Dive are the two anime only ones right now. Used to be Funimation also. So I think this is streaming, I would assume, in HD on High Dive. But I have ye old DVDs, so this would be the quality I would see anyways. Okay, so that looks like focusing and not the aperture click. Because he wouldn't actually have an aperture. This is not a photography camera. This is a video camera. So, yeah, they're really... Yeah, video camera for viewing. So there really shouldn't be... Yeah, there really shouldn't be an aperture. That makes sense. What you're seeing move would be the different lenses on the inside. Because it's not just like one lens and that's all you get. Especially with a telephoto like this. For the zooming, you would have different sets of glass. So different different little spherical lenses, like a magnifying glasses, all lined up to get different focus in different areas. Okay, that is we'll call it the normal lens. It switches back. And this one down here, I would assume is the precision lens based on that schematic before, but I could very well be wrong. I mean, it's got the crosshair, right? Armored Trooper VOTOMS. I really don't want to hear him singing in half speed. It's perfectly fine at full speed, but partial speed? Oof. Oof. All right, so I'm not going to go super in depth with modeling different lenses, seeing as this is a low poly model anyways. Someday, folks, I'm going to do a high def model of actual Rusty, or Rusty the Avatar. And then I'm definitely going to be like full out textured to the max. It's going to be great. But not today. Oh. Did we just hear? Nope, I had his neck locked up. Darn. I was hoping we could catch the error in action. I guess not. All right, where are we? Okay, so this lens, I didn't want to use a texture, but I might just model little cubes for the crosshair. Yeah, instead of busting into this, splitting the faces all up like that. Whoa, aha. He's misbehaving now. He has been running for an hour and a half, so I'm watching. Watching? You gonna pop our face off today? No? No? Okay. He's good. He's good. Okay. Okay. Reference image. You know what we're gonna do? We are going... Wait, did I already do this one? I already did this one. For now, we'll just leave this as is. I will probably do the same thing I did, depending on how it looks. Probably do the same thing I did for the zoom lens for the normal lens. And this one, we're just going to extract a tiny circle in the middle, I believe. How big do you think we should go? I could actually line it up perfectly. But I'm not going to. Okay. And then I think we might just leave it there. Leave it there for the night. Quarter? Actually, we're going to color it first, and then we will leave it there for the night. So the fun thing about the low poly model is we can always make it higher poly. What I might do, well, this won't be too much work to fill these holes back in. That's what it's called. It's literally called fill hole. See? If that gives me any grief, I'm just going to export what we did today, or save what we did today as its own file, and import it into the previous save, because I have been iterating these now. And I should iterate more often because low poly models do not take up much space. Okay, we are going to move him a little bit this way. There. Okay. Oh. Red, green, blue. I did not notice that yet either. Interesting. I wonder if that was intentional or if it was just in this box art. Though I don't know. Mecha folk tend to be very intentional with what they do. In fact, I do need to actually... I do need to extract this a little bit. Wait, let's try something out here. Okay. We're gonna go back in the history and just make this bigger. We're gonna do 0.3. We're gonna do 2 divisions. There, that was super easy. Lock that in. So what I did there, in case you're wondering, is what I did is I went back in the history and I altered it. Now, because this is something simple as just adding more extrusions, so adding more rings, what you see right here, I moved this ring a little bit, and then I added another division, another ring on the inside of that. Something like that is easy to edit the history of because it's very predictable, repeatable. Some things are not so friendly. Yes, some things are not so friendly to go back in the history and edit. You know, I can leave that right there too. I don't think I'm gonna have it. Should I have it sunk in? I should have it sunk in a little bit. Just a little bit there. And then we'll take this guy and move him back. Oops, not that guy. This guy. And just move him back this way. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to play with the faces. We're going to save. You know, my hypershade was giving me grief before too, so yeah, it must have been just a whole cluster of different things that didn't want to work right. For now I'm going to make Lamberts. Let's call this, in reality they wouldn't be Lamberts. Let's call this, lens. Zoom. Cannot name a read-only node. Well, why are you read-only? Why on earth are you read-only? What the... You know, I'm gonna be very sad if I have to, Oh, there we go. I'm very, very sad if I have to reinstall Maya. This, I had to fight with Autodesk enough just to get it back, seeing as it's an out-of-date perpetual license. Okay, where were we? We are going to make this lens zoom. Where are you? Can I zoom in? Not zoom in. Ironically, I cannot zoom in. Okay, lens zoom is kind of a blue. Ugh, that is super blue. These are not going to be too accurate, so I'm not worried about that. Duplicate, duplicate. Lens, let's see, lens, call it red. And lens precision. Lens crosshair. Crosshair is green. And lens, no, lens red. Lens normal. Lens normal is currently a reddish. That is way too red. There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is select our faces. We are not going to use UVs. Oops, that's too much zoom, too much zoom. So there's the silver, there's the dark outlines. We're going to start there. And we are going to assign this one. And that is not what I chose for the color. Why are you not red? Oh, you are red. Let's make you a little brighter over red. There you go. So one of the interesting things about Maya is you can edit things in so many different locations. So in my other window, or my other screen, I'm looking at the hypershade. So, and then here is, here's the breakdown of, oh, I'm sorry, Rusty's blocking the view a little bit. You know, like here would be the numerical breakdown, which actually is over here too. So in some cases, it's more numerical in the attribute editor or the channel editor. Now over in the hypershade, you get something vaguely like blueprints and such. Node-based. See, we're connecting everything. Oh, this shows everything. Let's make it less messy. There. See, this one, super simple. There. because this is just a surface shader. That's the type it is. And it is just the color. I don't have anything in any of the other slots. Is just the color. If I were doing this actually, like if this was actually a lens, oh boy, it'd be different. For one thing, it wouldn't be this kind of a shader. It would be, look at all these beautiful things. Look at all this beautiful mental ray behind me that is no longer relevant. Makes me a little sad. Because, in fact, I think Maya 2016 was the last time they used mental ray, or actively supported mental ray in Maya. It'd been used for, as long as I know. It's a beautiful way to render things, but they switched over to a different rendering system called Arnold. Unfortunately, because I had to install this, an older version, my license for Arnold doesn't work. It is convoluted, and I didn't care that much, seeing as I was going to mostly be using this for modeling instead of rendering at the moment anyways. Modeling and then throwing into a game engine, like Unity or Unreal. So I just hooked up Mental Ray for when I do actually want to make something look really pretty. And you know what? We're about wrapping up. I'm going to finish coloring the lenses, and then I'll show you some of what I mean. That is, this is nice. This is not spaghetti. Spaghetti, as the Unreal folk like to say with their node-based programming. I will show the spaghetti. The spaghetti. Will I render out a test scene? No, because it will absolutely tank my computer. Because I don't have it partitioned to only use some of the processors yet. If I'm going to be rendering on stream, I will definitely be partitioning the CPU cores. Like, these are for Mental Ray to render. These are for Maya. Or, well, no, these are for OBS. These are for Mental Ray, etc., etc. Oh, I saw that. I saw it. Yeah, you're starting to give me a stink eye. There. You've been warned. You've been warned. Now you can effectively give me the stink eye. Yep, I think we might be, I wonder if we're heating up a little bit. One moment, please. Gonna lock up here. I do want to check this. I will BRB. And let's see. Click. Oop, not that one. This one. Huh. Hello. He is doing just fine. That is interesting. It must have just been a hiccup. Packet got half read or something. There we go. Yeah. No, actually, the heat is quite well. I'm pleasantly surprised. I would have thought at least with as active as he is, the servos might have gotten a little iffy. Honestly, I think most of the problem is because I talk with my hands, and Rusty's facial capture is directly in front of me. And it's kind of far away, too. I should have it much closer. I should have it, like, you know, right here where my hand capture is holding it. Instead, it's pretty far away, so it's not super precise. I think it has to fight for clarity sometimes. Probably why he flutters around a little bit. In fact, if anything, the phone is probably getting alarmed. The phone that is tracking and sending Rusty his data. Whereas VTuber Rusty over here is coming through a different computer at roughly pretty much my eye height. There's a webcam back there, so it's different angles and everything. Whoops, where'd we go? Where'd we go? Okay, I need that window open. Now we're gonna do this. Okay. So this whole one gets to be lens zoom, assign material, and then this little guy, what do you get? Green. So part of the beauty of this is I can come back in later and because these are not using, I mean technically they're using UV map, but because that is, I'm not painting the texture on in a UV map, I am actually applying a material. So in this case, lens crosshair, which is just a green surface shader. Nothing fancy about it. In fact, it's a very dull material, so it won't be shiny at all. There we go. See, it's green now. And we'll make a, let's make another one. Lambert 7. We will call this lens dark gray. So we are going to, ooh, too close. There, oh, why didn't I do that before? So just like with the lines, let me show you again. So I think, okay, that selects the whole object. So it has smart selection. Oops, until you do a dumb thing, then it's not so smart because it is user error. So you select one thing, you hold shift, like in this case, see these are all part of the same, I forget the exact term. They're all part of the same thing. This would be a better example. So you select the one next to it, the direction you want it to go on the mesh. Double click. So you shift, double click, and it selects the whole ring. Why I wasn't doing this before, I forgot. Lens dark gray. Assign material to selection. However, not very dark gray. That was not the one I was working with. There we go, lens dark gray. We'll just make it a little bit darker. Okay, where else do we want that dark gray? I believe we want it to be on the inside of here. Nope. See, I made the same mistake again. Select that, select the one next to it. The little things you remember in hindsight. This is exactly why we practice. Because I have forgotten all of these shortcut keys over the years. I'm not using this software for a very rather long time. And, okay, that's just lighting. Yeah, I haven't used this software for a long time, so I've forgotten so much of it. So now I'm kind of working out the muscle memory to get back up to fighting form. With my wimpy little VTuber muscles. All right. But you know what? I am pleasantly happy with how this turned out today. Just gonna scooch this just a little bit so it's not clipping. There. Yeah, I'm happy enough with this. Center that. How are we looking? Okay. Okay. Let's pause for effect. Here we go. Ta-da! Click. Wait, where's my buffer? Where's my buffer? I don't have my replay buffer set. Let's try. I'll just grab it later. Ta-da! Today's progress. Okay. Good enough. cheesy guess. Yeah, no, that's some good progress. I'm happy. I will probably change these materials to shinier material. But that can wait. Where were we? Save. Okay, and now for that promised spaghetti. Where were we just here? Let's go to nature. I just saved. Okay. Ooh. Are we dropping frames? Ooh. Or I'm gonna crash it. Can we crash the stream? Crash the stream. Crash the stream. We did not crash the stream. All right. So we got this lovely little bit of vegetation here. Unfortunately, I don't have all my textures because this was done on a different computer with different directory system setup, or not system, different directory setup. So it can make some beautiful vegetation. I have screenshots to prove it. Screenshots. So for instance, I believe this little bit on the corner here looks something like that. So this little tangle is somewhere in here. I rendered it earlier today. Taking a little break from work. So yeah, I mean, I did this 10 years ago, probably. Is this full size even? Yeah, it's full size. So yeah, I used to do more organic-y stuff too. So the fun thing is the shader graph for that. Let me show you. Can I even zoom in? Okay, let me see if y'all can see this. So let's find the leaves. Okay, this is for the ferns. Okay, this is the shader network for the ferns. Fern leaf, oak leaf, plank. Ivy. It's gonna take me too long to find it. Well, anyways, let's do maple leaf. We'll graph that one. So yeah, this is a mental ray shader network, and what this is doing, just as a little example here, is I have leaves in the trees, and I wanted them to be have color variation. Woo! There he goes. That was interesting. That was my fault. I blocked the hands. However, he shouldn't be able to go that far. Sorry, Rusty. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna be actually wrapping up fairly soon. I'm showing off some old renders because working on this low poly model, and then in the background, not in the background, I opened up a different file. So welcome in. You caught me low poly modeling some mecha, but here I'm showing that a much more complicated shader network. I don't know if you're familiar with Maya at all, but here's a maple leaf. So yes, so it's taking the this is the texture shader for a maple leaf, including making them random color variations within a certain amount, giving them bumpiness, a little bit of transparency in the luminance. Let's see, this right here alters the colors slightly so that the leaves look nice in a tree and it doesn't look like you just paste the same leaf everywhere. And then way over here, what is this? No, actually these were for changing the colors of the leaves because it's plugged into right here, the leaf file. But yeah, just revisiting something I worked on 10 years ago. Let's see. These are not maple leaves, but this is the same basic shader. It's for some ivy ferns. But no, what I was working on, let's see. I would render this right now, but it would absolutely tank my PC because I don't have the rendering engine properly partitioned. Don't save. So what I was working on, where are you? A Scopedog. Making this this mecha right here, making his helmet. And in low poly mode, just because I've got that theme going on right now. but I am wrapping up, and let's see. Dun, 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 dun. We are going to pause Mr. Rusty here. You know what? I think I am just going to wrap up stream here. Oh no! Maple, I was just gonna close out a stream. Wait, do we still have Rusty? Yes. It's funny because I have to look over at my OBS on a side monitor here. It's like, yes, we have actual Rusty. All right. Oh, and we're running out of battery anyways. Why didn't that show up on my screen? Oh, it did show up on my screen. So check out next to Winamp, right down here next to Winamp. I am duplicating my video feed because the camera, if you look up top, is telling me my battery's low. Maya gave me grief again. And so it loaded the file in Goofy the first time around. And then I made some edits and resaved it. So there's a little bit of error, little things I have to fix up. But we're making progress for our low poly system here, or low poly mecha. Let's see. Oops. Oh, and I'm on the wrong screen. Here we go. We're making progress with the Scopedog from VOTOMS, the fun old school anime. Do I still have? I do. Here we go. Viewing party. Oh, and I have that really loud in my ear. We're working on this part today. Old school. The guy who created VOTOMS, I believe he worked on the original Gundam, and then went off to do his own thing, which was VOTOMS, and then he later created a show called Gasaraki in the early 2000s, which the story is a little but the animation is chef's kiss. All right, I think we are gonna wrap up though, sadly. So gotta call it here. I think we might raid someone. Yeah, I don't know. I originally I see the whole model. I originally started this one just as kind of a practice. Oh. Rusty's being a little fidgety over there. I hear something clicking. So we're ending at a good time. I think, let's see. Who to raid? You know what? Don't mind sticking around for a raid. I think we're gonna go raid Dead Sun. Oh, he's running a special event right now. I'm gonna go raid Dead Sun Prime. And yeah, he usually does Unreal work and also Maya, so that's fun too. We're gonna go say hi to him. Let's see. Let's see, can I open this in a different window? That'd be cool. There we go. That way I don't get stuck with ads. All right, well, thank you for stopping by. You have a raid message. I don't. I'm not even a affiliate yet. So, how about Mecha Modeling Raid? You know, I love the dinosaurs. Where's my dinosaurs? Where's the dino dance? Why is he not showing up? Can I do dino dance? Will that show up for me? I'm having all sorts of fun, slightly fun issues. Here we go. Call it Mecha Modeling Raid. And then we'll put in 2 more of those, just for fun. There we go. Mecha Modeling Raid. Okay, are you all ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and bam.